Hey y'all, and welcome back to Backyard Florida. I hope everyone's having a good day out in the garden. So today's video is kind of a funny one because honestly, I wasn't planning on adding any more garden beds to my current setup. I told myself the space that we have is plenty, but you know how it goes. Once you start, it's kind of hard to stop. So in the back where you see the trees now, I do plan on putting a bench so that I can actually sit down and enjoy my garden because sitting on the rocks isn't really comfortable. But in the front, I didn't have any plans to fill that space, and I found a smaller version of the current bigger beds that I have already, and I just couldn't resist. These beds aren't perfect, but they are super affordable and they're holding up really well to Florida's climate, which is super hot and very wet. The color has faded on the beds just a tiniest bit, and there's also some rust appearing, but it's not that much, and overall they still look really great. You might have noticed in some of my shorts that this side of the bed is crunched up, but that's from when we were filling the bed with dirt, and my husband got a scoop that was a little too much for our tractor to hold, and the hydraulics gave out and the bucket crashed into the bed. Anyways, like I said, these things hold up pretty dang well. So in today's video, we're gonna unbox the new bed, put it together, and put it out in the garden. But of course, it's not as simple as that, because to put it out in the garden, we have to first finish off the garden framing. It's not something that we've been avoiding necessarily. We just wanted to leave that side open in case we needed to bring the tractor over it for any reason. Anyways, by the end of the video, we'll have another bit of our yard turned into growing space, and I can really start to enjoy my happy place. So the product comes in this box, and it's actually super easy to open, and you shouldn't scratch the product cutting the tape. There's 4 long sides, 2 short sides, some wing nuts and bolts, and rubber edging. Oh, and there's an instruction manual, of course. The bigger beds that I have are all 8x4x2, and this smaller bed is 6x3x2. So it's just ever so slightly smaller, but big enough that I can put a lot in it. I am planning on moving my flowers and herbs to this bed for now and using the bigger bed to grow more vegetables. That's why I haven't planted a lot of herbs yet, because I always planned on moving them somewhere, I just didn't know where. Now, I don't move at warp speed. I've sped this up to capture the whole process, but in total, I think it took me about 40 minutes to put the bed together. It wouldn't have taken that long, but I needed to stop and let my fingers rest for a bit. And also, I put on one of the sides wrong. It is super obvious which sides are short and which are long, and they even come together in the box so you can easily tell. But I'm not sure what happens when I start to assemble things. My brain just shuts off and I always mess something up. That's why I only start with 2 bolts in each side, because this isn't my first rodeo. The first bed I put together, I had to completely take apart because I had the short sides on the long side and it was just so janky looking. I started with a sketch of the garden being 3 big beds and 4 small round beds, which we did. And from there, it's just been expanding little by little. We decided to make it look nice and keep water from pooling on the ground and getting super muddy by adding rocks, because we live in a literal swamp and it rains so much. We're pretty much Shrek and Fiona. There's an alligator that lives in my swamp. I call him Douglas, and I probably should have named him Donkey. These beds hold up to 269 gallons of soil if that's all you're putting in it, and because of their depth, they're great for deep-rooting plants like peanuts, carrots, and broccoli. There is no bottom panel, it just sits right on the ground, which is what we want, because we don't want the bed to hold too much water. Florida has a very long rainy season, and I don't want my plants to rot or get flooded out. The steel panels are put together with what feels like a billion wing nuts and bolts. That's actually the only tedious part of assembling these beds. My fingers always feel like they don't want to work anymore by the time I screw the last one in. There are 8 on each edge of the steel panels, and there's 6 panels total, so yeah, it's a lot. But it holds together really well and comes apart easily if you need it to, so I actually like the design. The beds do come with rubber edging for safety, but the edges aren't sharp or exposed, they're rounded and coated. So I didn't put them on any of them, but I keep them just in case I ever want to. I just didn't want to put rubber out there because I don't think it will last too long in Florida's climate, and it would probably just become something that I remove later on. So once you get the frame together, you can kind of see that it bows outwards. There are 2 steel support bars that you need to screw into the middle to keep the sides from bowing out and help it maintain its shape, especially once you put soil in it. I like to put one of them on the top and the others a few bolts up from the bottom. And from what I can tell in my bigger beds, they've done a pretty good job of preventing the beds from warping and keeping soil from leaking. Most of the soil leakage that you see in the videos that I post is from ants moving dirt around. We have a whole bunch of ants out in the fields, or it's from me spilling dirt doing things in the garden and pulling up plants. Another thing that is super important when assembling these beds is to make sure that the 4 corner posts are all facing the same way. There is a small hole on each of them, and that hole needs to be on the same side of all 4 posts because that's where you put the stakes that it comes with into the ground. They're pretty lightweight stakes, but once you get the beds filled, they are not going anywhere. But this is what the bed looks like when it's all completed. This is the inside, so you can kind of see what I was dealing with and how I put it together. You can see that once you add those steel beams inside of it, it becomes straight, it's not bowing out anymore, and now it's ready to be put in the garden. It is a pretty standard Florida day today during hurricane season, which means that it is raining on and off. And my goal today was to get the bed into the garden before it rains, but the sky looks like it has other plans for me. So, like I said earlier, it's not just as simple as putting the bed together and setting it in the garden. For starters, we have added several inches of rocks to the garden area for drainage and the aesthetic. We could have gotten much cheaper rocks or other material that costs less than the white rocks with pretty sparkles in them that I just fell in love with, but apparently I love spending money. Anyways, we now have to move several feet of rocks so that we can set the bed on the ground and have it be level with the other beds, because if it's not, I'm going to lose my mind every time I look at it. But before we can move the rocks out of the way, we have to close in the garden area so that the rocks stay inside when we move them. It's a whole process. And because the rain is coming, that means it's time to get my husband out here to help me. I can move the rocks, of course, but he does it faster, and it's pretty much a boy job anyways. I cook him dinner, he moves my rocks, it works. So first, he had to level out the ground with a shovel because our ground out here is crazy uneven. Like I said, we have ants everywhere. And of course, there was also a lot of ants right where we needed to shovel and put the edging. So he was dealing with that the whole time. He puts up with a lot for me, and I appreciate it so much. This metal edging isn't perfect, it's never truly straight, and it doesn't fit together 100% the right way. But it gets the job done. All we needed to do is look halfway decent and hold in rocks, and it accomplishes both of these goals. After shoveling, he started to stake the edging into the ground. In total, I would say it took about 15 to 20 minutes to put this side in. It had been so long since we put the edging together the first time that we were worried we wouldn't be able to find the stakes. But fortunately, for once in our lives, we didn't lose something important. Well, we did lose one of the stakes, but one out of however many there are total in the edging isn't bad at all. That's a win. Also, when he told me that the best place for the solar panels would be right next to my garden, I was a little worried because this part of the garden is supposed to look nice and be a place where I can come relax and enjoy myself. And I didn't want the panels to make it look bad, but he ended up doing a really nice setup there. And I actually love the way it looks next to the garden. I like to have everything match as much as possible, so we have green beds to kind of mimic the natural outdoors where there's different shades of green. And then white rocks with black edging because our house and outer buildings are all black and white. I love it so much, it makes my brain happy when I step outside and everything is matchy-matchy. So once we got the edge in, it was time to start moving rocks. We both moved some. He moved a lot more than I did though. He wanted to spread them around evenly first and then set the bed on top of the rocks. So he went ahead and moved the rocks out to the new edge of the garden area. And this didn't take him too long, maybe another 20 minutes or so. Now I'm going to say this, moving rocks is some of the most labor intensive work I've ever done. And I do have a newfound appreciation for anyone who has to do this for a living. It is seriously a whole full body workout. I was sore for a few days after getting this bed in, and most of that was from moving rocks around. After I had moved rocks for the first few beds we put in, I vowed to never do it again because it is so awful. But here we are playing with rocks. This time, surely it's the last time we have to move rocks out of the way for a garden bed. Yes, we could have set the bed on top of the rocks like he wanted to do and nothing bad would have happened, but it would have been way higher than the other beds because there's a solid 4 inches of rocks on the ground. I also didn't want all those rocks to just be buried under dirt. I mean, we pay good money for those rocks to be visible. Now, he hadn't slept much or drank nearly enough water during the weekend, like normal, so he needed to go inside and I had to finish up. The sky was looking like it wanted to open up though, so I also decided to go inside and take a short break, and right after I went in, it started to pour. Luckily, what they say about the weather here is true. If you don't like it, just wait 15 minutes. It started raining on and off from here, so I asked my husband to help me move the bed out so I could see where it would sit, and then I came out every time it stopped raining, and I moved rocks away so that it could sit flat on the ground. Or as flat as possible. Nothing is perfect, and that's okay. Everything out here in the garden is perfectly imperfect. And now we're in the home stretch. I didn't get every single rock up, and I'll probably scoop up a few more before we fill it, but if I don't move another rock again, I've moved enough to be happy with where it's at. To finish up, all I had to do was move the bed into its final resting place and put the stakes into the ground. Then I went around the outside of the bed and I pushed the rocks back up against it and spread them out evenly. And that's it. A new garden bed installed and ready to be filled. When I fill it, I'll probably make another video on how I fill my raised garden beds. But for now, I'm just excited to fill this space and be able to grow even more. We are growing more than we need, and I'll be canning and freezing vegetables so that we have plenty for years to come. And I'm sure we'll be giving a lot away to friends and family as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in the raised garden beds that I'm using in my garden, you can find the links in the video description. Like and subscribe to keep up with the garden and for other homesteading content. We wish you happiness, health, and peace. Happy growing, y'all.